Okay, y'all, we finally made it to the last saga. Okay, this is the Ithaca Saga. This man has finally made it home. There's gonna be a few songs before he gets back to his wife, actually sees his wife, okay? And I'm excited for this one. Not too much on me when we get to hold him down, okay? They had no business making that song such a bop, but they did. All right, but yeah, I'm excited for this one, so let's start. That viola, every time with that viola. Now we also get to see her point of view and everything she's been going through.
I'm supposed to choose a suitor to wear the crown. I said I would choose as soon as I weave this shroud.
She just looks worn down.
They don't know that every night I unthread all the work I've done. 'Cause I'd rather lie
devotion
than alive.
Dedication.
Though I never thought that I'd resort to this. Just know I'll be here, but I don't know how much longer I'll last.
Oh, they made her jacked in this. This animation or animatic.
And though it was so close to our kingdom, it was far from the norm.
It's him.
Unless,
it's him.
how could it be some kind of sign that my world is all about to change? Is it finally time for the challenge I arranged? Though I never thought that it would come to this. Just know I'll be here buying you time.
Depiction of the lecherous suitors.
My husband's bow and shoot through 12 axes cleanly. Will be the
jacked. Okay, she looks so strong.
And rule with me as this queen. Let the arrow fly once you know that your aim is true. 'Cause I'd rather die than grow old without the best of you. Though I never thought that these would be the lengths we go for love, I would not have it any other way. And though I never thought that it would end like this, just know I'll be here.
Would you wait 20 years for a man you didn't know was ever coming back? I know it's Telemachus in the background. Not too much. Not too much on me.
Down at the throne, Penelope as his queen. Where is he? Where is the man who can string this bow? Screw this competition. We've been here for hours. None of us can string this. We don't have the power. Screw this damn challenge. No more delays. Can't you guys see we're being played? This is how they hold us down while the throne gets colder. Hold us down while we slowly age. Hold us down while the boy gets bolder. Where in the hell is our pride and our rage? Here and now there's a chance for action. Here and now, we can take control. Here and now, burn it down to ashes. Channel the fire inside your soul. Haven't you noticed who's missing? Don't you know the prince is not around? I heard he's on a diplomatic mission, and I heard today he comes back to town. So I say we gather near the beaches. I say we wait till he arrives. Then when he docks his ship, we can breach it. Let us leave now, today we can strike it. Hold him down till the boy stops shaking.
Evil. Those beautiful voice.
Hold him down while I slowly break his pride, his trust, his faith, and his bones. Run him down into tiny pieces. Throw him down in the great below. When the crown wonders where the prince is, only the ocean and I will know. And when the deed is done, the queen will have no one to stop us from breaking her bedroom door.
So
Stop
evil,
us from
so
taking her
disgusting.
love and more.
I know, Bob.
And then we'll hold her down while her gate is open. Hold her down while I get a taste. Hold her down while we share her spoils. I will not let any part go to waste. Here and now there's a chance for action. Here and now we can take control. Channel the fire inside your soul and hold him down. 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 Channel the fire inside your soul.
You piece of shit. With a beautiful voice.
For 20
Yeah,
years I've suffered
he's back.
every punishment
He's back.
and pain, from the wrath of gods and monsters to the screams of comrades
Didn't even
slain.
recognize him.
I come back and find my palace desecrated, sacked like Troy. Worst of all, I hear you dare to touch my wife and hurt my boy.
Sing, Odysseus.
I have had enough.
That guitar of his. Yeah, electric guitar of his.
In the heat of battle at the edge of the unknown, somewhere in the shadows lurks an agile, deadly foe. We have the advantage, we've the numbers and the might.
No, you don't understand it. This man plans for every fight.
Listen to him. Yeah. Taking no prisoners. Ruthlessness is what?
Where is he?
Mercy upon ourselves.
For the torches, our weapons, they're missing.
He's using the darkness to hide his approaches.
We're empty-handed, up against an archer. Our only chance is to strike him in the darkness.
We know these odds, the odds can't be tilted.
You don't think I know my own palace? I built it.
Oh man.
Old king, our leader, is dead. You've destroyed the
And?
serpent's head.
And
Now the rest of us are
that is
no
not true.
longer a threat. Oh king, forgive us instead, so that no more blood is shed. Let's have open arms instead.
No.
y'all gotta die. Y'all gotta go.
We live in a world of systems.
We're back with the
Cities,
ads, okay?
subways, forests, even our
Damn, he's more cunning than I assumed.
While we were busy plotting, he hid our weapons inside this room.
I find it hard to believe that the sharpest of kings left his armory unlocked.
So what? Now that we have armed ourselves, let's make the bastard rot.
Behind you!
Come on, young wolf.
Throw down those weapons, and I ensure you'll be spared.
After seeing what the king will do to us, we wouldn't dare.
I don't wanna hurt you, but trust me, I've come prepared.
Your very presence is doomed the king, young prince. We don't fight fair.
Stop!
Brothers, we got company, and he's made a great mistake. Left the weapons room unlocked, and now they're ours to take. Brothers, come and arm yourselves. There's a chance for us to win. We can still defeat the king if we all attack the prince.
You can't.
Where is he?
Sorry to disappoint you, sir.
Capture him, he's our greatest chance.
Get off me! Get off me!
Fight till the prince can barely stand.
Hold him down! Hold him down!
Make the king obey our commands.
Hold him down! Hold him down!
'Cause if he won't, I'll break the kid's hands. Got him.
And Daddy's here. Okay.
Mercy. Mercy. My mercy's long since drowned. It died to bring me home. And as long as you're around,
Come on, boys.
family's fate is left unknown. You plotted to kill my son.
That part.
You planned to rape my
That
wife.
part.
All of you are going to die.
We taking no prisoners here,
My
okay?
heart with hate. All of you who have done me wrong. This will be your fate!
It can't be easy seeing your father like this for the first time meeting him. Oof. He is the one who feasts now. A man-made monster, okay? A man-made monster.
Father? Son?
What do you even say?
All my life I'd have died to meet you. Thought about your name so much it hurts. For 20 years I dreamt of how I'd greet you. Oh, and now you're here. I can't find the words. All my life I'd have died to know you. Days and nights I wish that I could show you.
20 years is a long
For
time.
20 years I never
Yeah.
could outgrow you. Oh, and now you're here. I can't help but wonder what your world must be. If we're like each other, if I have your strength in me. All this time I've wondered if you'd embrace me as your own. 20 years I've wondered, for so long I felt alone. Oh my son, look how much you've grown. Oh my boy, sweetest joy I've known. 20 years ago I held you in my arms, how time has flown. Oh, used to say I'd make the storm clouds cry for you. Used to say I'd capture wind and sky for you. Held you in my arms, prepared to die for you. Oh, how time has flown. I can only wonder what your world has been. Things you've had to suffer, and the strength you hold within. All I've ever wanted was to reunite with my own. 20 years we've wandered, but today you're not alone.
I was raised by the wolves, ain't say they fool. Run through the night, playing with your life.
My son, I'm finally home. Father, how I've longed to see you. Telemachus, I'm home.
Come on, harmonies. Ah.
Go, tell your mother I'm home. I'll be
Their
there
songs
in a
sound so
moment.
alike too.
Of course. Show yourself. I know you're watching me. Show yourself. You were never one for hellos.
I can't help but wonder what this world could be if we all held each other with a bit more empathy. I can't help but feel like I led you astray. What if there's a world where we don't have to live this way?
If that world exists, it's far away from here. It's one I'll have to miss, for it's far beyond my years.
Yeah, man. I'm sure he's
You might live
tired.
forever,
Yeah.
so you can make it be. But I've got one endeavor. There's a girl I have to see.
Very well.
Damn, Zeus fucked her up. Oh my god.
Father, she's waiting for you. Penelope.
I can't. Okay. This is one of my favorite songs in this entire saga, okay? Yeah. We're finally here. Ugh.
Is it you? Have my prayers been answered? Is it really you standing there? Or am I dreaming once more? You look different.
Yes.
Your eyes look tired. Your frame is lighter. Your smile torn. Is it really you, my love?
I am not the man you fell in love with. I am not the man you once adored. I am not your kind and gentle husband. And I am not the love you knew before. Would you fall in love with me again if you knew all I've done? The things I cannot change. Would you love me all the same? I know that you've been waiting for love.
What kinds of things did you do?
Left a trail of red on every island. As I traded friends like objects I could use. Hurt more lives than I can count. but all of that was to bring me back to you. So tell me, would you fall in love with me again if you knew all I've done, the things I can't undo? I am not the man you knew. I know that you've been waiting.
If that's true, could you do me a
You
favor?
gotta prove it to me. Let me find
Just a
out.
moment of labor that would bring me some peace. See that wedding bed? Could you carry it over? Lift it high on your shoulders and take it far away from here.
How could you say this? I had built that wedding bed with my blood and sweat, carved it into the olive tree where we
Such a
first
romantic.
met.
Men aren't doing this anymore.
Love everlasting.
If ever.
Realize what you have asked me. The only way to move it is to cut it from its roots.
Only my husband knew that, so I guess that makes him you.
She was ready to fight him. Like, how can you tell me that?
This is the perfect pair for your iPhone, and it replaces 3 different chargers. So when I travel, I don't pack extra cables, I don't have to pack extra bricks. This covers my phone, my watch, and anything.
I will fall in love with you over and over again. I don't care where or when, no matter how long it's been, you're mine. Don't tell me you're not the same person. You're always my husband and I've been waiting.
That's mine. Beside him. Come on, girl. Take it up. Take it up. Oh my goodness. Just a man playing in the background. Yes. Oh. He's gonna be romantic too.
How long has it been?
20 years.
I love you.
Oh my goodness. Okay, y'all. So I had to make this a voiceover because I was rambling during the commentary. But y'all, we finally officially finished Epic the Musical, the Animatics. And I need a minute, okay? I need a minute to compose myself. Because when I started this journey, I knew I liked the music. I already mentioned in the beginning that I'd listened to the album before, thanks to my little sister, before I started watching the animatics. But actually sitting down and experiencing the story unfold visually, saga by saga, it made me appreciate just how much bigger this project is and just a collection of really good songs. And it is a collection of really good songs, okay? But these animatics just brought back everything that I had experienced, listened to the music, and then added some to it. And I think the Ithaca Saga really brought a lot of those themes home for me. But let's talk about Hold 'Em Down for a minute, okay? Because why is this song such a bop? Alright, and I feel almost guilty saying that because the subject matter is absolutely horrible. And I think in some of the forums, people who listen to this song feel guilty that they like this. And they had no business making this song such a bop. But I think that's part of what makes the song work so well. You have these men who see themselves as the rightful, powerful elite of Ithaca, and the moment they believe they're going to have access to Penelope and the throne, they become absolute vermin, absolute scum of the earth, and that is an insult to scum of the earth, okay? And what's interesting is that they don't even seem particularly worthy of the power they're fighting over. Isn't that crazy? They can't even string Odysseus's bow. And that test really says something to me because it is a test of skill to test how not necessarily knowledgeable, but also like, can you think on your feet? Are you as clever or as intelligent as you believe yourself to truly be? Okay, and what are some different ways you can go about doing different things? And these men just want the crown. They want the status. They want Penelope. They want all these things. They want the power that comes with being king. But do they actually have the qualities of a king, and of a good king at that too? Because when the opportunity comes to prove themselves, obviously they can't. It really makes you question whether they ever wanted to lead Ithaca at all, or whether they simply wanted that, what power could give them. And then, of course, the man of the hour, we get Odysseus, and this man done changed, okay? This man done changed, and I think one of the most interesting things about Odysseus's entire journey is watching how much his trials have stripped away from him. And by the time he gets home, Poseidon done taught him well. He is absolutely ruthless. And ruthlessness is what? Mercy upon ourselves. I would never stop quoting that man. Steven Rodriguez, you did that, honey. And I don't necessarily mean that as a criticism or a compliment. It's just who he has become, for better or worse. This is who he is now. And this is a man who has spent years fighting monsters, gods, storms, enemies, and basically every possible force trying to keep him from his family. Everything he sang about in Odysseus. So when he finally gets home, he's not willing to take chances anymore. He said, y'all got to go. So even if you think you're going to hurt his family, he is coming for you. And one of the suitors mentions that their leader Antinous is dead, and that because he's gone, they're not gonna, be as harmful as he was. I'm like, this is one of the cases where it's the head of the Hydra. You cut off one to grow back in its place. They had to go. It had to be killed. They had to die. And so in a really uncomfortable way, I think his journey prepared him for that, actually. But then we get to Would You Fall in Love with Me Again? One of my favorites. One of my favorite songs in the Ithaca Saga, and probably my second favorite in the entire album. Because after everything we've just witnessed, after all the violence and all the years apart, we finally get this incredibly, intimate question. Can I still be the person you love? Because Odysseus isn't coming home as the same man who left. Not the one who left Troy, certainly not the one who left for war. And Penelope isn't just getting back the husband she lost 20 years ago. She's getting back someone who has experienced things, done things, some horrible things, and made choices that he can never undo. And I think that's why that song hits so hard. Because it's not really about, do you still love me? It's almost, after everything I've done, after everything I've become, can you still see the person you fell in love with? And then, that instrumental callback to just a man at the end. I said, wait a damn minute. Let me Let me wrap my head around what's going on first. But they brought us back. Again, listen to the song, but seeing it, having the visual cues, it's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, they just said let's run it back, take it back to the beginning. And Just a Man is also one of my favorite songs from the Troy Saga. So all the feels were had in this one. Um, because that's what makes this entire story feel so circular. I think we started with Odysseus asking what it means to be a man forced to make impossible choices, throwing a baby off of a goddamn wall. And we end with that question still hanging over everything he's become. Because I think that's ultimately what Epic is asking us to wrestle with, or the story of Odysseus in general. What does it take to survive, and what happens to you when survival requires you to become someone you never thought you'd be? And I think that's where my feelings about Odysseus actually do get complicated. Because Epic does an incredible job of humanizing him. And Christopher Nolan's movie as well, I'm sure is going to do the same thing. I haven't actually seen the movie. I'm sure by the time this comes out, it would have already been out. But I've seen trailers, and I'm sure they're going to humanize him there too. We understand his longing for his family. We understand his desperation to get home. We understand why he makes certain choices. But understanding someone isn't the same as absolving them, y'all. It just ain't. And Odysseus did some genuinely horrific things, like I said. The Trojan War wasn't just some abstract battle where everyone went home and moved on. If only we just talked shit out instead of just... Anyway, there were people who suffered because of his decisions. There were people who died. And then there were people who survived who would have every reason to remember him as the villain of their story. And that's valid too. That really stuck with me because one of the most disturbing parts of Odysseus' story is that he doesn't necessarily take joy in all of the horrible things he does. Even something as horrific as throwing a baby, like I said, from the walls of Troy, Astinus is, however you pronounce his name, is framed as a choice he believes he has to make to protect his family. And that's what makes the story so uncomfortable. Because if you're willing to do something terrible because you believe it's necessary, does that make you less terrible? Or does it just mean you're a person who did something terrible for a reason you believed was justified? A lot of nuance there, okay? And I think that's where the story becomes much bigger than Odysseus. Because war has consequences, tragic ones. And far too often, the people who suffer the most are women and children. All the time. The elderly too. Most of whom were women. But women and children. People who had little to no control over the decisions that started the conflict in the first place. We can talk about the foolish wars currently going on as I record this. Their homes, people's homes are destroyed, families are ripped apart, women and children's bodies, and you know, their bodies, their autonomy, their dignity, it becomes things that other people feel entitled to. And unfortunately, that doesn't only happen during war. We've seen the same kind of abuse of power happen during natural disasters, humanitarian crises, and situations where vulnerable people are dependent on others for survival, and more often than not, it comes at the hands of men. People who come in claiming to help sometimes decide that their power gives them the right to dominate or exploit the people they're supposed to protect. And that is fucked up on so many levels, and it keeps happening. It keeps happening. And that's something I don't think we can ignore when looking at Odysseus' story. Because maybe there is a kind of poetic justice in the fact that after everything he did in Troy, he spends the next 20 years being stripped of almost everything he has. Ain't that crazy? Because 600 men he took to war, not one of them came back. The kind, caring man who left, replaced by a ruthless man who has to do whatever it takes to stay alive. And I don't necessarily think the universe works like a simple scoreboard where every bad thing gets an equal punishment, because wouldn't that give us some semblance of fairness in this world? Um, but I do think there's something powerful about the idea that our choices have consequences. We don't get to participate in horrible things and then assume we'll emerge completely untouched by them. It just doesn't work that way. And sometimes the cost isn't immediate. Sometimes it follows you home, like we see happens with Odysseus. He finally gets home, but he doesn't get to become, or he doesn't come home unchanged. You know, we very much see the changes he goes through. And I honestly think that's what makes his reunion with Penelope so powerful. Um, because after everything, he's still trying to find out whether there's a place for him at home, whether this new version of him has a place in Penelope and Telemachus's life. And somehow, after all that, words. Penelope is able to tell him that there is. Um, so yeah, my little rant about about Odysseus' story in general. But then let's talk about this cast, okay? Because voices of the gods, literally, okay? Genuinely have to give them their flowers, because everyone involved, this whole ensemble brought so much life to this story. Every character had their own sound, personality, emotional identity. My man Poseidon, Steven Rodriguez, KJ Burkhauser, listen, Tegan Early as Athena, Luke Holt, all of them. All of them. Anna Lee or Analia, never know how to pronounce her name. And I think that made the world of Epic feel so much larger than it could have through the story alone. And of course, the animators for the Animatics. Shout out to y'all. And I think there were so many incredible animatics throughout the journey. But some of the artists whose work really stood out to me were Neil Illustrated. Their depictions of the gods were really great. Gigi had, I think, what may have been the original concept artwork behind Epic. Don't quote me on that. It just seemed like that's like the overall vision that Jim might have be going for. And then Jimena Natso really, really enjoyed their animatics. And it's the way that they took these songs and translated them into movement, character acting, expressions, environments, and the visual storytelling was absolutely, absolutely incredible. And I think watching the animatics actually made me appreciate the music differently. Just brought a little bit more oomph, made me see it in a different light. Because suddenly I'm not just hearing a character sing about something, which the singing itself, you know, you could feel, you could visualize in your mind without these animatics what's happening. But then seeing it again, actually having visuals to support, I'm seeing their faces, I'm seeing body language, I'm seeing the consequences of what they're singing about, and that's a completely different experience. And finally, just the fact that this started as a master's thesis project for Jorge, a master's thesis project that has just come this far and grown into this enormous, ambitious, emotionally complicated musical that a lot of people, so many people have resonated with and connected with. It's honestly so incredible. It's amazing. And I think that's the biggest thing I want to take away from this musical, Epic the musical. There are things I'm gonna be thinking about, questioning, and probably even disagree with on some level, but it made me feel something. And like artwork like this, art in general, it's supposed to invoke within you feelings, make you think, make you question the very world around you when it's done right. It made me think about morality, love, war, power, survival, consequences, and what it actually means to come home after you've been changed by everything you've experienced. And I think that's what makes something truly memorable. So yeah, we finally made it to Ithaca. This man done finally made it home. such a long journey, and I think I finally understand, why this had to be epic. This had to be it. It's amazing. Okay. Amazing body of work. But yeah. Enjoyed every bit of this. But thank you so much for tuning in to watch. If you made it this far with me, you've been watching me. Thank you so much. Let me know down in the comment section what your favorite saga was, what you think of the overall musical, you think of Odysseus' story in general, the rant that I just went on, if you listened to it. Yeah, let me know what you think down in the comment section, and I will catch you on the next one. But until then, always remember, self-love. You are so worth it. All right? Peace. Bye.